Welcome to Hidden in Plain Sight. I'm your host, Divine Pisces 444. I am all about the supernatural and the unknown. Come with me on this journey as we unravel the supernatural paranormal activities that many people are experiencing today. In this video, you are going to see authentic pictures of the supernatural. That covers interdimensional beings, celestial beings, nature entities, and some ETs as well. Yes, you guys, I have actual pictures of extraterrestrials. I will circle, I will point them out because they do blend. I repeat, they do blend. That is why, here's an example right here. Check them out, you guys. Now, if you look at the one all the way to the right, there's like this little dot of light on top of its head. The whole entire being is glowing. That's an ET right there. But there's this little dot of light. What I saw, what I was experiencing inside of my house was completely different versus what I was seeing outside my house. I've been documenting this on camera since May 2022. I've been experiencing it my entire life. However, November 2020, something happened. I shifted. What I thought was me having a mental breakdown was me actually shifting. Now, this little guy right here, so what you're looking at is a side shot from my house. It's the driveway and the neighbor's yard. But in my driveway, underneath the writing Divine Pisces, the copyright, his name is Manco. He is a water deity, some type of water spirit being. I remember this. He came for 2 years in a row around the same time. It rained during that week, like heavy, heavy rain, fall. There was flooding, and the camera started to go off one night, just constantly. You know, I jumped on, and I didn't understand, like, what's out there, you know, what's happening. And that's when I have the video, you guys, but on this video, we're doing pictures. I see this light, this strange light that's like rotating. And it's in my driveway. And then right there in the neighbor's yard, I'm like, okay, is that a puddle? Is that a puddle of water with the light reflecting onto it? But the little round light right there, that's a whole head. And it moves. It's an actual creature, and it moves. What I understand from some of these beings that I've experienced, they travel in light ships. Okay, they travel in light ships, and once they land, they come out of that light ship. So you may be seeing the light ship and the actual being, or you may not see the being and you just see the light ship. Or see the being and not the light ship. But in this video, which this is a screenshot, I captured both. Not only did I capture both, there's another one right beside it, beside the light ship. Now, in this picture, you know, some of them I communicated with telepathically, some universal language, you know, just impressions, energy. And some, it was like an intuitive inner knowing. I called this particular one, which is an interdimensional being, the shining one. Now, I have mad video on this particular one. He was actually like a brown color, and his forehead, like he shined, you guys. I remember it was like, oh my gosh, he's shiny. And he was out there for about 2 months. Some of them stay for one night. The shortest stay, matter of fact, the shortest stay that I've seen one was 15 minutes. Okay. Check these out. Now these are celestials. These are celestials and extraterrestrial creatures. They are blending. The actual creatures, they stand out, like they're solid form. The celestials blend. So this is, with the infrared light, and that's an orb. So this is a screenshot of a video. That's an orb that was passing through when I took the screenshot. But now that orb, listen, you guys, I've seen them move. Some of them look like orbs. Some of them look like rods. That's an orb, but like an orb, but in a rectangular shape. Okay, like a hot dog. That's them. I watched one go across my yard, land into a tree, like it went into the tree, and then all of a sudden I see a face appear, and it's glowing. And so yes. Now here we have what I believe excuse me, was an interdimensional ET again. Possibly a supernatural creature. My girlfriend set up the tent earlier that day. We sat out there until about 9 o'clock. She goes home. I go in the house. I say around 11 o'clock that night, the camera starts going off. On my blink camera, when I got on, all I saw was static. That is the EMF, electromagnetic field. All of these beings, especially the ETs, y'all, and the supernatural creatures like the gnomes, actual earth creatures, they have the EMF is off the chain. It would affect your cameras, your internet. I have a 20 or 40-minute video of this particular ET because he came for a whole week and he started to move towards my house, my bedroom window. This is screenshots of videos, as I mentioned. Now, with this particular one, I had a dream. Now, I've been clairvoyant psychic my entire life. I've always been connected. I never understood it until I started to go through this. These ETs were not here to harm me. They were here to activate me. In the beginning, I couldn't explain it. I didn't understand it. I was terrified. I wanted someone to intervene. I wanted the government, the army, like national security to come and get my boys in Quarantinas, like set cameras all around us. Like I was terrified because I had no idea what the hell was happening to me. Like I did not understand none of this. This is Manco and his crew again. I never really considered ETs. I've seen spirits, auras, angels, cryptids, earth creatures, not necessarily gnomes, but other things like imps, monkey rats, things that just like, okay, oh my gosh, like, am I tripping? Is my brain playing games with me? I've seen that my entire life. But what I started to see in 2020 when CERN turned on the large hard-run collider, I can never say that word right, collider. I believe, now at the time people were asking me, but I didn't know anything about CERN. I didn't know anything about protons, none of that. But once I got through my initial shock, which took like the first 3 years, and I started to like go through these conscious portals, and I began ascending and integrating and all that good stuff, then I started to connect the dots. Yes. And a lot of people was angry at CERN. But this is my thing. By CERN turning that on and basically activating portals, okay, it wasn't that CERN created portals. Portals are here on the earth. There's portals everywhere, you guys. But they were dormant. They weren't activated. They weren't active. That activated the earth. When they turned that machine on, it activated the earth. Okay? You got to understand, they're charging, they're playing with all this high frequency under the ground, deep into the crust of the earth, 17 miles deep to be exact. You know, and so think about it. It activated Mother Gaia. It woke her up. It woke up the spirit of this planet. And everything began to raise in vibration. And that's why we were starting to experience time leaps, the loss of time. I don't know about for y'all, but like it was so weird to me. Like, where is time at? Like, it was just, the day would go by. Forget a day, a year. You blink your eye and it's a new year. Like, I remember there was days that I would wake up and I felt like I was in a totally different dimension. Like, I did not feel right. It felt like maybe I woke up in the wrong body or something was wrong. But I was going through these upgrades and activations, and I was having all of these encounters. Now, this is just what was outside my house. Some of them did come inside. But I have had over 100 encounters, you guys. I don't have pictures of that. Even when I set the cameras up in the house, which I did at one point, when they come near my house, when they come inside the house, depending on which ones it is, their EMF interferes with my internet. My cameras are run off of the internet, right? So it wasn't like, I can catch it. I couldn't catch it. The internet would be down, or it would be a night that I forgot to turn the cameras on. Oh, they were good at that. And I honestly felt like they were doing that. They were causing me, the distractions to forget. And if there was a moment when I had my phone or could get my phone, when you come in contact with these beings, I promise you, the last thing you're going to want to do is grab a phone. The ones that I am experiencing are high vibrational. And then, even the ones that aren't high vibrational, it's like, I don't know, I guess I go into shock. It's like, you can't move. You can hear yourself breathing. You can hear your heartbeat. It's like a stillness. It's so deep, you guys. But yes, this is very real. I know there are people who call it pareidoia. And I want to speak on that real quick, you guys. That's a crack of bull, okay? First off, the faces that you are seeing in pictures, it's energy, you guys. It's spirit. It is spirits. They're everywhere. There are human spirits everywhere. Nature spirits everywhere. And it's so aggravating, that they've created this. And I think it's because a lot of people were experiencing it, seeing it, and then it was causing a mental imbalance. They weren't able to sleep. They weren't able to, work and concentrate. And so, of course, I get it. They had to put something out there, to make this kind of go away, or not even go away, but to explain it so it would be, to rationalize it. But once again, they've lied. Okay. And that's what this is all about. This is why, the spiritual awakening is such a shock to the system, because we've been programmed. We've been programmed to think otherwise. We've been disconnected consciously. Our consciousness has been wiped, and we have to remember. And that is what the awakening is all about. It is remembering. If you are seeing the lights, if you are hearing the tones, the frequencies, you are going through a spiritual awakening. That is, it's like they're unlocking you. Excuse me. I wish I knew that in the beginning. I would have saved myself so much restless nights, fear, stress, anxiety. But when you have previous knowledge stored in you, check him out, you guys. Someone said that was a puddle of water with the light shining on it. I've never seen nothing that is so detailed form like that. And it spoke to me. It told me my sister would need me, and I needed to forgive her. And I hadn't talked to my sister in like 8 months. And this was like 2, 3 in the morning. The next morning when I wake up, there's a missed call from my sister. These beings are real. I'm not here to convince you. If you don't want to believe me, click off the video. I could care less at this point. Because I do believe that you have to have some kind of awareness. People that shut this down and try to rationalize it, they are completely disconnected. It's not their time. They haven't felt the calling, felt the pulling in their heart. They're okay with the programming. There's going to be, excuse me, guys, there's going to be a lot of people who are not going to ascend. Period. They're just not, you guys. And what I'm understanding from it, why there's so many people that are crossing over, they're not ascending, and they're transitioning out of here. They cannot hold this higher frequency. That's all it is. Their bodies can't do it. They've experienced just too much grief, too much pain, and they won't be able to shift. Okay, they're stuck in their pain. I repeat, the pain is drowning them out. They will not shift. They may have some mental awareness. They may even, be into the conspiracies, but the shift does not happen mentally. It happens spiritually. It happens in the heart. Okay. And that is where your pain is released. Your heart is cleared. Your aura is reset. It's lighter in color. Your energy field begins to go through upgrades. There are some people, a lot of people, that will not make it that far because their pain. Because of their pain has turned into anger, despair, addiction, mental illness. And they attract these lower vibrational entities that are tormenting them mentally. It's speaking to them through their thoughts. So they're hearing voices, but it's their voice, and it's dominating them. I will say this. I shared with a friend of mine the other day, someone that does spiritual sessions with me. Your intuition is connected to your spirit. It's connected to the heart. Your intuition will never guide you into confrontation. Your intuition will never take you to a place that will put you in harm's way. or cause you to harm someone else. That is not your intuition. If someone is planning on harming you, or is just a negative force, negative energy towards you, your intuition will actually redirect you. It will guide you away from that. It's not going to tell you, hey, here they come. Here comes this negative energy. Prepare for battle. That's the ego. That's these lower vibrational spirits. Some call them demons. I call them parasites. Okay. When we go through our spiritual awakening, there's several awakenings. There's several layers that need to be peeled back. Okay. So never think that you went through your first one and now you're just ascending. That's not true. There are many layers that need to be peeled back. You're going to shift several times. Limiting beliefs is a big part of it. You're shedding illusions. You're shedding false, lies, deception. And here's the thing. We may even create new beliefs during the first stages of the awakening. I know I did. And as I progress down my journey, into my journey, back to self, back to home, returning back to self and home and source, I had to shed those beliefs. And I was like, wait a minute, what is this? It got me through, the beginning. It helped me heal, but it still wasn't the actual truth, because your perception is distorted until you actually fully unravel. It's like looking through a lens, you guys. So before your spiritual awakening, your lens is completely covered. It's completely fogged up. Like you can't see at all through it, right? So your first awakening, as you begin to awaken, that lens becomes, let's say, 10% clearer. The next awakening, the next shift, 20%, 25, 30%, 40%. You see what I'm saying? I even thought at one point I was 100% clear. There was no more limiting beliefs. Nope, I was wrong. I was wrong. Until the old programming, the old structure. Look at the moon man. He's sitting up in the tree. I call him the moon man. Until the old program, the old system is completely deleted from your existence, you are going to go through these awakenings and these upgrades. You got to think. It's like, your hard drive being out of what's the word I'm looking for? Not being receiving the upgrades, right? Your phone, your computer, for years. Not just you missed a couple upgrades, for years you've been disconnected. So finally, you find the right programming to plug into so you can receive the correct upgrades, because we were getting upgrades, but we were getting them from the matrix, from the system. It was all programming, false programming, right? So now the awakening, you have plugged into the right system. And now you have years, hundreds and hundreds of upgrades you got to go through. Like, it's a lot. And every upgrade, you're replacing certain beliefs. So you're deleting you're deleting old files to download the new ones, right? Well, I thought, you get it all at once. No, you get it piece by piece, brick by brick. When we build a new building, a new house, a new structure, you don't say abracadabra and boom, there appears a building, a house. No, it is built by brick, layer by layer, piece by piece. That part. Come on now, y'all. And a lot of it depends on your flexibility. How open are you? Some of us are coming in, with, well, I say a lot of us, even the confident ones. Your ego was confident. You are not confident. Your authentic self is not confident. You created this, alter ego, this person that you show the world and yourself. You convince yourself it was you, but it really wasn't. The real you is hiding deep down inside, scared and vulnerable, insecure, filled with pain. So you created this other version of you. So those who come in that are like overly confident, they have not gone through the ego death yet. When you go through that ego death, you go through your resurrection, you go through your rebirth. Your spirit is basically going through its resurrection, is being with the ego death, the spirit is being reborn, and it's like being brand new again. Like a newborn child. You have to nurture it. You have to feed it. You have to love it. You have to spend quality time with it. So it can grow. So your self-worth can grow. You can't just, put boundaries in place. Like, okay, I know I got to put boundaries in place, so let me put these in place. But then now you are validating your going against your boundaries. Other people are going against your boundaries, because it's not. We are learning as we go through this process. You being violated, you overextending yourself, overexerting yourself is going to teach you about your boundaries, and it's going to help you enforce them. Okay? As you grow, as you heal and unravel, you're going to begin to love yourself more and more and more. I had to not learn how to love myself. I had to grow in loving myself. You see? I had to grow my boundaries, right? Here's another big one. Trusting, which is really hard. How are we supposed to trust the unknown when we've been told our whole life to stay away from it? It's darkness. It's not the light. We're supposed to seek an outside source of light and bring it inside. And we are to be reborn. Part of that is true. The rebirth is real. But you are the light. You are connected. So we were placed under a curse. Just for safety reasons, this is for entertainment purposes only. We were placed under a curse. And as long as you believe that theory, you live under that curse. The moment you say, because we have the power to speak life or death with the tongue, with the mouth. Words are spells, okay? And intentions. Make sure you have the intention. Some ask me, well, what do you mean setting intentions? It's what you believe. If you don't believe what you're saying, it has no power. It has no authority. I remember for years, I used to rebuke in the name of Jesus, and it didn't work. And others was like, just, I don't know what to tell you because it works for me. But I was really having real encounters. They weren't. They would rebuke negative thoughts, a negative person. I was having real entities, seeing real things. See what I'm saying? So what these beautiful beings taught me, that I am divine, I am powerful, but I did not believe that. I used to ask for forgiveness 24/7, all day long. I always longed. I had a longing to be close to God. And I was, until I did religion, and it separated me from him. It separated me from that energy, that source. And I reconnected through this here, right here. They brought me back to myself that I threw away, that I thought was unworthy, that I thought fell short from the glory of God, the creator source. And all the angels and all these other beings that I would see over the years and was told those aren't of God and these people have no idea what they're talking about. There's so much life out there, it's not even funny. Beautiful beings. I've seen so many different human civilizations. I could never go back to the way I was before. Never. It was so overwhelming, but it was so beautiful in the same moment. Like, just the other night, last night, I wake up, I felt, first I felt vibration on my right side. I thought it was the phone. And I'm waking up and I'm reaching for my phone, but I can't find it. I don't feel it. And then I kind of like fall back to sleep. And then on my left shoulder, where, basically I'm on the edge of the bed, so something could have been standing there. The first thing I felt was heat. And it was getting hot. Not like warm to touch. I'm talking about hot. And then a deep vibration. And it felt like it lasted like 5 minutes. And when it stopped, my eyes popped wide open. And I sat straight up. I'm looking around the room. I'm like, what the heck? Now, I've never experienced the heat before, but I have experienced the deep vibrations. One night, I'll never forget this. I went to sleep. I was laying on my back, and I was listening to this angel meditation. That's what I went to sleep to. And when I woke up, my eyes popped wide open. My whole entire body was vibrating. It was vibrating so hard, you guys, that it was pulsating. I could hear it, this swooshing sound in my ears. I could not, when I tell you, panic set in so quick because I couldn't feel my heart. I couldn't feel my heartbeat. Not just that, I didn't feel like I was breathing. I was taking a deep breath, but I wasn't getting that sensation, like the expansion of the lungs and stuff. Like, oh my gosh. So then it's like, you go to have a panic attack, but nothing comes out. Like my heart, when you have a panic attack, your heart starts to race. Nothing. All of this happens within probably 90 seconds, right? I don't hear anything from the television, like the TV, the video that was playing. I think it was like music or something. I can't remember, but I didn't hear anybody talking. Then all of a sudden I hear, it's okay. You're in the arms of an angel. You can breathe now. Now listen, that really blew my wig back, because for me to wake up right when he says that, this video is 3 hours and 33 minutes and 33 seconds. What is the coincidence of that? So when I heard that, my thought was roll over. Roll over on your side. So I roll over on my right side, and I'm telling you guys, it took like 5 minutes for that sensation. Check him out. That's the tree spirit I was talking about, the little boy. But for that sensation to leave, and, I slowly start to feel my breath again and my heart. And I was just like, I bawled, I cried. Because it wasn't me vibrating. I was vibrating, don't get me wrong. But like he said, You're in the arms of an angel. When I tell you, I've experienced many, from celestial to solar beings to light beings, supernatural beings, gnomes, different type of earth creatures to extraterrestrials, angels, if I already said that, ascended masters. Man, so much in these past 6 years, you guys. So much. And one thing I can tell you, some of them, when they touch you, you vibrate. And I'm not talking about a surface vibrate. I'm talking about cellular level vibrating. You vibrate. Now, the warmth, that was the first time. That was the first time, and it was hot. I remember another time I shared over on TikTok. I was in the kitchen, and I was cooking, and we just did this house out west, and there was, I called it the tormenting house, right? Had a lot of residual energy. And there was some children that were there in spirit, not residual. They were actually there hiding in the closets. And I went back, I did a cleanse, a spiritual cleanse, and I released them. I set them free. So it's about a week or two later, and I see this line of light. It almost looked like a floating spider web just come through from the, look at that, y'all. This is when we first moved there, and we had animal control come out. Yep. This is around the time when I'm about to be on the couch for 4 months. And that man said, 20 years I've been on a job, and I cannot identify that footprint. He said, maybe it's a ghost. No, it was a creature. It was a creature that I would end up seeing at the end of that 4 months. They call them EBEs, aliens, higher dimensional aliens. But so I'm standing in the kitchen. I see this light come through, this line of light come through from the living room through to the kitchen wall. And it was a white line of light, and it goes past me, and it goes out the wall into the den, and it goes right through where my oldest son Jeremiah is sitting. And because I just experienced that with the children, I thought it was one of the children that followed me home, because I do have a lot of children spirits around me. I'm very motherly, and I am very protective, and I have a very bright light. Okay, I've always been a high vibrational person. I carry a very high frequency. And so I didn't just open my arms, I opened my heart. You know how you're about to like love on a child? And I was like, oh, and I just kind of like opened my arms, and big old smile came through. Like spirits, entities, beings, all of these supernatural, they feel your energy. I don't care what you're saying. If your energy does not, they go by the signal of your heart, not your mind. That's why, sometimes the engagement is different. People are like, well, I spoke to it, but your heart sent a different signal. Your heart sent a signal of fear, So they go off of the heart, you guys, that signal. So it felt that love, right? And all of a sudden, I closed my eyes, like, you blink, and I saw something. I with my mind's eye, it was like a stairway up, and like going up towards the ceiling in the kitchen. And I saw what I thought, because it was only like a 3 to 5 second, glimpse of it, looked like nuns. Yes, it reminded me of nuns. And I saw 2 different types of blues, a royal blue and like a sky or a baby blue. I thought they were women, and it was nuns. I opened my eyes back up, and I said, oh my gosh. No. Yeah, it was closed. I was trying to remember if my eyes were open or closed. I'm not sure. But I did see it, and I was like, it took my breath away. And I was like, my heart immediately started racing, because it wasn't a child. I thought it was a child. It was, and I'm like, oh my gosh, And then I blink again, and when I go to close my eyes, I see them. So they were off to the right, right? So when I close my eyes the second time, they're smack dead in front of me. Oh my goodness, y'all, when I tell you, it scared the living crap out of me. Those were not nuns, they were birds. And yes, they were royal blue. And when I shared it at the time, there was a lot of people said those were the blue avians. I don't think so. I don't think so. There are several different types of galactic birds, avians, and there's more than one blue type, because I've seen the blue avians, and that's not what they look like. It's not. These were different. When I seen them in front of me, they look like an owl. They look just like owls. The same hairline, the lining. Oh, and listen, the part where I thought it was like the nun's headdress, it was their hair, but it was slicked down, laying down like shiny, greasy. Oh my gosh, I saw the beak. They definitely look like owls, you guys. And so when I opened my eyes back up again, my heart was like, you could see my shirt moving from my heart beating so hard and fast. It did. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It scared me. It scared the living daylights out of me. There are blue avians right here in this tree. If this is the, well, it was the picture. I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't look down. So I had a picture that maybe already popped up or it's coming, where I circle them and you can kind of like see the blue. Yes, those were blue avians in that tree over there that night. But my heart is racing. It's like pounding, and I'm stunned. Like I'm going into shock. Now Now my eyes are open. I did not see it, but I felt it. I felt a hand pressed right in between my breasts. And when it touched me, I could feel this radiating, like, powerful, calming sensation. And I leaned into it. And let me tell you, honey, my heart went from beating probably, it super fast to just, it dropped instantly. It didn't slowly calm down. It dropped instantly. I've never calmed down so fast in my life. Like, that was like instant. The tears began to flow. Like, them tears were pouring down. I felt such a pure, unconditional love. Like, you guys see him right here? Check him out. That's a plasma. He's made of plasma, but he's there. And we got a couple creatures over there. But yes, you guys, I can go on with the stories. There's so many encounters I've had. My next video that I've been working on, I do want to share some of these dreams that I had last week about the storm that's coming. And the air being hazardous. I talked about it on my live. I had 3 dreams over a week ago, my Aunt Mimi, and she kept talking about this storm. And so the last dream I had, I was trying to put a towel up in the window, and some kind of dust or debris flew through the window and went into my mouth, and I breathed it in and I couldn't breathe. And so, yes, I don't watch the news. I wasn't aware. Now, I had these dreams way before, the wildfires and the smoke coming and all that. But a tornado, that was the second dream. It was a tornado. This third dream was, that there was something in the air, okay? And we weren't supposed to breathe it in. So the first dream, she's just telling me I need to take a break. I need to rest, right? But I want to do a video on that and kind of go over that. And I'm also going to be doing a video of, just in detail, you guys. I want to share what I experienced in the beginning of my awakening. I'm so far deep into it now. Like I'm there's so many levels to it. But I remember everything. I remember the beginning. I remember the middle. I can walk you guys through it. And that way, you can identify where you're at. I've gone through it. So, yes, you can look it up, but you might not be able to relate to some of the stuff that is out there because, there's so many people posting information now. But especially, like I said, having these encounters and a true awakening for me. I believe if a person is really going through their awakening, you go through the awakening, but then there's the activation. Okay. That's the part that I want to talk about because that's what this is. That is exactly what this is. Okay. And, all ancestors are here, the Lemurians is up and active, and I know a lot of people were against CERN, but I think CERN had I think CERN they're channelers there, and they were given instruction to do what they did. I think they channeled how to build that machine as well. And it was to activate Earth, to activate these portals. So I don't think CERN is against us, you guys. I think CERN is working for us, not against us. And I know a lot of people think otherwise, but so anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm gonna let you guys go. I didn't mean to take up too much of your time. Also, I want to mention the membership. If you guys feel connected to me and you want to join the family, I encourage you to do so. I do post videos for my members, and there's going to be videos that I share with my members that I'm not going to share with the public, okay? Because I look at my members as my soul tribe, as my family, right? So if any of this resonated with you and you want to watch more content moving forward, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications. I do post content regularly. I post on TikTok as well, but as you see over here, I share a lot more. I definitely share my downloads, my dreams, visions when they come. And yeah, until next time, you guys. And if you'd like to show your love and appreciation, I'm going to post my Cash App and my PayPal. I appreciate all gifts, no matter what size. I love it when you guys return that energy back. It shows me that I am a blessing and that it's helping you guys. I sow seed, you guys sow seed. Let's water each other. Until the next time, I love you all. Peace, love, light, gratitude. I'll see you in the next video.